Hey everybody, and welcome to my Stoneblock Tips and Tricks episode 1. Let's get started. One of your first quests will make you make up a stone crafting table, but if you put that in your crafting slot, you can turn that into a crafting station. Now that has added functionality in that you can shift click items into it, and it's also able to see surrounding inventories. Luckily we do have Vein Miner as part of this pack, and you can set that hotkey to whatever you like in the controls section. But just bear in mind you do need to be holding something in your hand for Vein Miner to work. So if I hold down my Vein Miner key and I break this with the torches, you see that it works. If I do the same but with an open fist, you will see it only breaks the log that I'm breaking at the moment. You will probably want to get yourself a hammer from Tinker's Construct as soon as you can so that you can start clearing out your area easier. However, there is an alternative before you can get to the Tinker's stage. You can make many hammers from thermal expansion, such as the Iron Hammer, and that will have the exact same functionality, like so. And if you look at the hammer searches here, all of these at the top here from the various metals are all from thermal expansion and do the same thing. In this pack you're going to need to do a lot of sieving, and it can be very slow and very boring, so you need to make note that you can actually sieve in a greater area than just a 1x1. Sieves can become multi-blocks and act in 2x2, 3x3, or even as large as 5x5. Now the 5x5 is as high as you can go. You could also make a strange shape arrangement like I have here if you are low on resources and you're just trying to make as many as you can. However, all of your sieves in your multi-block will need to be of the same mesh. So these 4 are flint mesh, this one is string, and when I right click with the gravel here, it will do the ones that has the flint mesh, but not the one that has the strings. They've all got to be the same. And also important to note, this doesn't work with the heavy sieves, only with the regular ones. And on the note of sieving, make sure you upgrade your meshes whenever you can, guys. So obviously you got the string, flint, iron and diamond. Now not only do the higher tiers of meshes make you able to get more things from the things that you are sifting down, but they also give you a higher chance of drop rate of all of the items as well. You can easily compress your cobblestone, gravelstone, dirt, etc. into its compressed form by opening up a crafting station or a crafting table and pressing K, and you see there we got 7 compressed cobble, same with the gravel, dirt, sand and dust, which brings us on to our next tip. You will have to do a lot of hammering, sieving, etc. in this mod pack. Now let's say you want to sieve down a load of sand. First of all, use the trick that I just showed you to get it into the compressed version of the dirt, and then if we place down our 7 compressed dirt and hop out of creative and now break it with a compressed stone hammer, which the recipe for this is just 9 normal stone hammers all together. You get yourself a compressed one. Break down our compressed dirt with that whilst holding our Vein Miner key, and you get a stack of sand all in one go. So that's a much quicker way of doing it, and then you can head over to your sieves with your stack of sand. Resources are tight in this pack, so you're going to want to be fuel efficient. If you take coal or charcoal and put it in your crafting table, it can break down into tiny charcoal or tiny coal. Now 1 piece of each will get you 8 of the tiny stuff, and the 8 burns the same as 1 normal piece of coal, but this is great if you just want to smelt down a few items and ends up being more fuel efficient. This next tip I really cannot recommend enough. It is going to be extremely helpful for you, and what you're going to want to get as quick as you can is a hopping bonsai pot. Now to make these you need a regular bonsai pot, which is just 5 bricks, so you get clay fairly early in this game, and a hopper, which is obviously 5 iron and a chest. Highly recommend putting your first iron into this potentially. So what you want to do is put down a chest, hopping bonsai pot, get yourself a piece of dirt, and if you take a regular oak sapling and craft it in your crafting table with 3 apples, which you should get from your early game tree cutting, you'll get an apple sapling. Put that in here, and it's got a really cool texture. This is going to start growing automatically. You can see at the top there it's on about 20%, and once it gets to 100% it will drop various items into the chest down below. So if we look at the uses for our apple sapling here under our bonsai trees, so you have a 75% chance of wood, sticks, and for 2 apples you have a 20% chance. So this is going to be a great source of food early game. The bonsai trees are also a great source of early game wood, and you'll also get some sticks and leaves as well. If you then take the apples that your bonsai tree produces and you put them into a furnace, cook them up, then each apple will get you a cooked apple from the Tiny Progressions mod, and you can see there that gets you 4 hunger points and 6 saturation. So this is a great early game food source. Another good early source of food is from pizza. Now to get pizza, all you need is to grow some wheat. Once you got 5 wheat, put it in your crafting table, turn it into this wheat flour, cook that wheat flour down, getting yourself your 5 bread, put that in the crafting table in a T shape, and you get yourself a slice of Bam's pineapple pizza, and you can see that the hunger stats on that are insane. One of your early quests will be to make up this cobblestone generator here, and these can be upgraded into 5 different tiers. Now, you are going to want to get yourself some cobblestone generation very early on, and it outputs above it, so you're going to want to either use a chest, or you could use a basic drawer, or you could even use a compacting drawer. Now, this one's a bit more expensive, but I highly recommend this one once you can afford it. The reason you are going to want to start storing up cobblestone early game is for 2 reasons. You're going to have quests to get the mining multi-tool, which is going to need a lot of cobblestone. So if you look at the recipe here, you need quintuple compressed cobblestone, which is 59,000, and you need 2 of those. And then for the deep dark portal is another quest which requires a lot of cobblestone, even more. I mean, look at this, sextuple needs 531,000, you need 4 of them and various others. And the one in the middle, you actually need 4.8 million cobblestone. So make sure you get your cobblestone generators upgraded whenever you can, and make sure you get storing as much cobblestone as you can early game as possible. You are going to want to set up a mob farm as early as you can, because mobs occasionally drop loot bags like the one that I'm holding here and the ones over here. So I'm not going to go into detail on how to build a mob farm because there's so many tutorials out there on YouTube already, but if you go 25 blocks away from your main area, make yourself a dark room and seal it off. If you walk away, when you come back, there should be some mobs a few minutes later, and if you open up the loot bags, you can get some nice stuff inside, which may really help with your progression. Alright everybody, well those are all of the tips I have for you today. I will be doing future episodes on this, and as we get further down the Stoneblock tips and tricks series, the tips will become more relevant for you progressing through the game. All of the ones today were quite basic, but we'll get into some more detailed ones later on down the road. Hope you enjoyed, leave me some feedback below, and I'll see you soon for episode 2.